The crisp December air of Sandringham carried the sound of church bells as the Wales family walked together on Christmas morning, 2023. Princess Catherine, radiant in emerald green, smiled warmly at the gathered crowds who had come to catch a glimpse of the royal family during their traditional Christmas Day church service. Her children, Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis, walked beside her and Prince William, their faces bright with holiday joy. None of the onlookers that morning could have imagined this would be Catherine's last official public appearance for months to come. The 42-year-old princess appeared picture-perfect, embodying the grace and poise that had made her beloved by millions around the world. She chatted easily with well-wishers, her genuine warmth evident in every interaction. The family's unity was palpable as they made their way to St. Mary Magdalene Church, continuing a royal tradition that stretched back generations. Behind the scenes, however, Catherine had been feeling unwell. The demands of royal life, combined with raising 3 young children, had taken their toll. What she initially attributed to the busy holiday season and winter fatigue would soon reveal itself to be something far more serious than anyone anticipated. By early January 2024, Catherine's health concerns had grown significant enough to warrant medical attention. On January 16th, Kensington Palace announced that the Princess of Wales had undergone planned abdominal surgery at the London clinic, with the procedure initially thought to address a non-cancerous condition. The palace emphasized that the surgery had been successful, and Catherine was expected to remain in the hospital for 10 to 14 days to recover. The announcement sent ripples through the royal watching community. Catherine had always been known for her robust health and active lifestyle. She was frequently photographed participating in sports, from tennis to sailing, and had maintained an energetic schedule of royal engagements throughout her years as a working royal. For her to require major surgery came as a surprise to many who followed the royal family. The palace statement was careful to note that Catherine's condition was non-cancerous, and that the surgery had gone according to plan. Officials requested privacy for the princess during her recovery, explaining that she would likely not return to public duties until after Easter. This timeline seemed reasonable for recovery from major abdominal surgery, and the public responded with understanding and support. Prince William immediately adjusted his own schedule to support his wife and family during this challenging time. The future king canceled several engagements and scaled back his official duties to be present for Catherine and their 3 children. Palace sources emphasized that William would continue to balance supporting his wife and family and maintaining his official duties as the situation developed. As Catherine recovered in the privacy of Windsor Castle, the weeks that followed became increasingly difficult for the royal family. What had begun as a straightforward medical procedure had revealed something far more serious than anyone had anticipated. Tests conducted after the surgery uncovered the presence of cancer, transforming what should have been a routine recovery into the beginning of a life-changing journey. The discovery came as a devastating shock to Catherine and William. They had entered 2024 with plans and engagements mapped out months in advance, including overseas tours and important charitable initiatives. Suddenly, everything had to be reconsidered through the lens of Catherine's health and the need for cancer treatment. The couple faced the agonizing decision of how and when to share this news with their children. Prince George at 11, Princess Charlotte at 9, and Prince Louis at 6. Had to be told about their mother's condition in an age-appropriate way. Catherine later reflected that, "It has taken us time to explain everything to George, Charlotte and Louis in a way that is appropriate for them, and to reassure them that I am going to be okay." As winter turned to spring, speculation about Catherine's prolonged absence from public life began to intensify. The royal family's request for privacy was generally respected by mainstream media, but social media became a breeding ground for conspiracy theories and unfounded speculation. The situation was complicated when the palace released what appeared to be a family photograph for Mother's Day in March, only for several irregularities to be noticed by members of the public. The photograph, intended to reassure the public that Catherine was recovering well, instead fueled more speculation when photo agencies recalled it due to concerns about digital manipulation. Catherine herself acknowledged that she had edited the photograph and apologized for any confusion it had caused. The incident highlighted the intense scrutiny the royal family faces and the challenges of maintaining privacy during personal crises. Behind closed doors, Catherine and William were grappling with decisions no couple should have to make. Medical consultations, treatment options, and the impact on their family life all had to be carefully considered. The princess, known for her meticulous planning and dedication to her royal duties, found herself facing an uncertain timeline for her recovery and return to public life. The pressure of public speculation, combined with the stress of her diagnosis, created an impossible situation. Catherine had always been someone who preferred to maintain control over her public image and carefully planned her communications with the public. The growing rumors and conspiracy theories forced her hand in ways she had never anticipated. On March 22, 2024, Catherine made the difficult decision to address the speculation directly. In a carefully filmed video message from Windsor, the princess revealed that cancer had been discovered during tests following her surgery and that she was undergoing preventative chemotherapy. The announcement was delivered with characteristic dignity and grace, but the emotion in her voice was unmistakable. This, of course, came as a huge shock, and William and I have been doing everything we can to process and manage this privately for the sake of our young family, Catherine explained in the video. Her words resonated with millions around the world who understood the devastating impact of a cancer diagnosis on a family. The princess's courage in sharing such personal information marked a turning point not just in her own journey, but in how the royal family approached communication about health matters. Her openness about the emotional impact of the diagnosis helped break down barriers and showed a more human side of royalty that deeply connected with people facing similar challenges. As the world absorbed the news of Catherine's diagnosis, messages of support poured in from across the globe, setting the stage for what would become an extraordinary journey of recovery, resilience, and ultimately, renewal. The weeks following Catherine's public announcement in March 2024 marked the beginning of the most challenging period of her life. The outpouring of support from around the world provided comfort, but could not diminish the reality of what lay ahead. The princess had begun preventative chemotherapy treatment in late February, and the journey was proving to be far more difficult than anyone had anticipated. Catherine's medical team at the prestigious London clinic had designed a comprehensive treatment plan tailored to her specific situation. While the palace maintained strict privacy about the exact type of cancer and its stage, the decision to pursue preventative chemotherapy indicated a serious commitment to ensuring the cancer would not return. The princess approached her treatment with the same determination she had brought to every challenge in her royal life. The chemotherapy sessions brought with them the familiar challenges faced by cancer patients everywhere. There were good days when Catherine felt strong enough to engage with her children's school activities and spend quality time with her family. On these days, she found joy in the simple moments that had previously been taken for granted, reading bedtime stories, helping with homework, or sharing quiet conversations with William after the children were asleep. But there were also difficult days when the treatment left her feeling weak and exhausted. Catherine later described how, "There are good days and bad days. On those bad days you feel weak, tired, and you have to give in to your body resting. But on the good days when you feel stronger, you want to make the most of feeling well." These honest reflections would later resonate deeply with cancer patients and their families around the world. During the most challenging months, Prince William became not just a husband, but a primary caregiver and single parent on many days. The future king took on school drop-offs and pickups, attended sporting events alone, and managed the household routine when Catherine needed to rest. Royal sources later revealed that William had described this period as brutal, highlighting the emotional toll on the entire family. The couple worked hard to maintain as much normalcy as possible for their 3 children. Despite the upheaval in their lives, George, Charlotte, and Louis continued their education at Lambrook School, participated in sports activities, and maintained their friendships. Catherine, even during treatment, remained hands-on with parenting decisions and school involvement whenever her health allowed. As spring progressed into early summer, Catherine began to feel cautiously optimistic about her progress. The medical team reported positive responses to the treatment, and her energy levels were slowly improving. However, she remained realistic about the journey ahead, understanding that recovery would be a gradual process requiring patience and careful attention to her body's signals. In mid-June, Catherine felt ready to share an update with the public. In a carefully crafted message, she revealed that she was making good progress but acknowledged she was not out of the woods yet. Her honesty about the ongoing challenges of cancer treatment helped demystify the experience for many people facing similar journeys. The message coincided with an announcement that surprised and delighted royal watchers. Catherine would attend Trooping the Color, the ceremonial celebration of the monarch's birthday. This decision was not made lightly. The princess had consulted extensively with her medical team and considered the physical and emotional demands of the event. On June 15, 2024, Catherine made her first public appearance since the cancer announcement. Dressed in white, she appeared alongside her children on the Buckingham Palace balcony, watching the magnificent pageantry of Trooping the Color. While she appeared thinner than before her diagnosis, her smile was genuine, and her interaction with her children was natural and warm. The significance of this appearance extended far beyond its ceremonial importance. For Catherine, it represented a personal milestone, a sign that she was strong enough to resume some of her royal duties. For the public, it provided reassurance that their beloved princess was fighting and winning her battle against cancer. The sight of her waving to the crowds while surrounded by her family became an iconic image of resilience and hope. 1 month later, Catherine surprised everyone again with an appearance at Wimbledon for the men's singles final. Tennis had always been one of her passions, and her role as patron of the All England Lawn Tennis and Croquet Club made this appearance particularly meaningful. Accompanied by her daughter, Princess Charlotte, Catherine presented the winner's trophy to Carlos Alcaraz, maintaining one of her most cherished royal traditions. The Wimbledon appearance demonstrated Catherine's commitment to carefully choosing the events that mattered most to her. Rather than attempting to resume her full schedule immediately, she was prioritizing the occasions that aligned with her personal interests and royal patronages. This selective approach would become a hallmark of her gradual return to public life. Throughout the summer, Catherine continued her treatment while slowly increasing her involvement in royal activities. Much of her work moved behind the scenes, with meetings conducted at Windsor Castle and engagement with her charitable projects maintained through video calls and written communications. Her early years initiative, focused on children's development in their first 5 years of life, remained a particular priority. The princess also began working with the team at Kensington Palace to plan what would become her most important annual project, the Christmas Carol service at Westminster Abbey. This event, now in its 4th year, had become Catherine's signature royal engagement, reflecting her deep faith and commitment to bringing communities together during the Christmas season. As autumn approached, Catherine reached a significant milestone in her treatment journey. By September, her medical team confirmed that she had completed her chemotherapy treatment. In an emotional video message released that month, Catherine announced this important development while acknowledging that her path to full recovery would continue to be lengthy. The September video was notably different from her March announcement. Filmed outdoors with her family in Norfolk, it showed Catherine looking healthier and more relaxed, surrounded by the natural beauty she had always found restorative. The message struck a hopeful tone while remaining realistic about the ongoing nature of recovery. Although I have finished chemotherapy, my path to healing and full recovery is long, and I must continue to take each day as it comes, Catherine explained. Her words reflected the new perspective that her cancer journey had given her, emphasizing the importance of gratitude, family time, and finding meaning in everyday moments. The completion of chemotherapy marked not just a medical milestone, but a psychological one. Catherine could begin to look forward, rather than simply enduring day by day. However, she remained cautious about making commitments too far in advance, understanding that her energy levels and health status could still fluctuate unpredictably. By October, Catherine felt ready to undertake her first official engagement since her diagnosis. Alongside Prince William, she visited Southport to meet with families and emergency responders affected by a tragic stabbing attack that had occurred in July. This engagement was particularly significant as it demonstrated Catherine's return to the empathetic, hands-on royal work that had defined her public service before her illness. The autumn of 2024 brought a sense of renewed energy and purpose to Catherine's life. Her successful appearance in Southport in October, where she and William met with families affected by a tragic stabbing incident, marked a turning point in her confidence about returning to royal duties. The visit demonstrated that she had not lost her ability to connect with people during difficult times, a quality that had always defined her approach to royal service. November proved to be a significant month in Catherine's gradual return to public life. The princess made the decision to attend both the Festival of Remembrance at the Royal Albert Hall and the Remembrance Sunday service at the Cenotaph. These events held deep personal meaning for Catherine, representing the nation's gratitude to those who had served and sacrificed for their country. Her own recent health battles had given her a new appreciation for the courage required to face uncertainty and adversity. Standing on the balcony overlooking the cenotaph, Catherine appeared dignified and composed as she watched the solemn ceremony unfold below. Dressed in black with a meaningful piece of remembrance jewelry, she embodied the nation's respect for fallen service members while also representing hope for her own family's future. The sight of her healthy participation in these important state occasions reassured both the royal family and the British public. The most meaningful event of Catherine's autumn calendar was her annual Christmas carol service at Westminster Abbey. This fourth iteration of Together at Christmas had special significance, as it provided Catherine with an opportunity to express gratitude for the support she had received during her most challenging year. The theme of the service focused on love, kindness, and the importance of community during difficult times. Preparing for the carol service required careful coordination with her medical team and energy management. Catherine was determined to make the event as special as previous years, but she had learned to work within her physical limitations. The planning process itself became a form of therapy, allowing her to focus on creating something beautiful for others during the season of giving. The December carol service was attended by her 3 children, a rare public appearance for George, Charlotte, and Louis, who had been largely kept out of the public eye during their mother's treatment. Their presence at the Abbey represented the family's unity and the children's own journey through their mother's illness. Catherine's visible joy at having her family together for this special occasion was evident to all who attended. As 2024 drew to a close, Catherine felt ready to take another significant step in her recovery journey. On January 14, 2025, she made a surprise visit to the Royal Marsden Hospital, the renowned cancer treatment center where she had received her care. This visit was particularly emotional, as it allowed her to personally thank the medical team who had guided her through the darkest period of her life. During her hospital visit, Catherine spoke candidly with staff members about her experience as a patient. She described the shock of receiving her initial diagnosis, saying it was such a wealth of information to process as a patient. Her conversations with current patients revealed her newfound understanding of the cancer journey from a personal perspective, rather than just as a royal patron offering support. The hospital visit coincided with the most significant announcement of Catherine's health journey. Her cancer was officially in remission. In a heartfelt statement posted on social media, she wrote, "It is a relief to now be in remission, and I remain focused on recovery. As anyone who has experienced a cancer diagnosis will know, it takes time to adjust to a new normal." The remission announcement sent waves of joy and relief around the world. Messages of congratulations poured in from heads of state, celebrity friends, and ordinary people who had followed her journey with concern and admiration. The news represented not just personal victory for Catherine and her family, but hope for cancer patients everywhere who saw their own struggles reflected in her experience. Alongside the remission announcement came news of Catherine's new role as joint patron of the Royal Marsden NHS Foundation Trust, a position she would share with Prince William. This patronage held deep personal significance, as it allowed Catherine to give back to the institution that had saved her life while supporting others facing similar battles. The new patronage also signaled Catherine's evolving approach to royal work. Rather than simply returning to her pre-cancer schedule, she was choosing roles and engagements that held genuine personal meaning. Her experience as a cancer patient had given her unique insights that she could use to help others, transforming her personal struggle into a platform for service. In February 2025, Catherine made her first major public speech since her diagnosis at the Future Workforce Summit in London. The event focused on early childhood development, a cause that had remained close to her heart throughout her health journey. Her speech demonstrated that while her experience had changed her, her core commitments and passions remained strong. Royal experts noted that Catherine's return to public speaking was carefully chosen. Rather than accepting numerous speaking engagements, she was selecting opportunities that aligned with her established charitable interests and allowed her to make meaningful contributions. This selective approach reflected her new understanding of the finite nature of energy and time. As spring 2025 approached, Catherine began planning her return to a more regular schedule of royal engagements. However, royal sources made it clear that this return would look different from her pre-diagnosis work pattern. There would be no reset button hit in January, but rather a slow continuation of balancing her recovery with her public duties. The princess was no longer planning to join Prince William on overseas tours, at least not in the immediate future. Instead, she was focusing on UK-based engagements and maintaining her work on early childhood development. Family time remained her highest priority, with royal duties scheduled around her children's school calendar and their needs. Catherine's approach to royal work had fundamentally shifted from quantity to quality. Rather than maintaining the packed schedule she had managed before her diagnosis, she was choosing fewer engagements, but ensuring each one could have maximum impact. This approach reflected both her physical limitations during recovery and her new perspective on what truly mattered. Plans for 2025 included confirmed attendance at major royal calendar events like Trooping the Color in June, an engagement that held special significance as it marked her first public appearance during treatment the previous year. The Remembrance Day ceremonies in November remained a priority, as did her Christmas carol service at Westminster Abbey. Catherine's team at Kensington Palace was also developing new ways for her to engage with her charitable causes when physical attendance wasn't possible. Video calls with beneficiaries, virtual meetings with charity leaders, and digital content creation allowed her to maintain connections with her causes while conserving her energy for in-person appearances. The princess's journey from diagnosis to remission had taught her valuable lessons about resilience. the importance of family, and the need to find joy in simple moments. These lessons were now informing her approach to royal service, creating a more sustainable and personally meaningful way of fulfilling her duties as the future queen. As Catherine looked toward the future, she carried with her the wisdom gained from her darkest year and the gratitude that came from emerging stronger on the other side. Her path back to royal engagements was not just about resuming her previous role, but about creating a new way of serving that honored both her experience and her ongoing recovery.